Your vote, shaping our future. From high-stakes local races to the presidency, coverage starts now. From KXAN, your local election headquarters.
And this morning, as we are your local election headquarters, we can tell you it is looking like Donald Trump will get a second term in the White House. Good morning. I'm Sally Hernandez.
And I'm Tom Miller. It's been a strong performance for the former president. Trump closing in on 270 electoral college votes. This is the latest from the Associated Press, projecting so far he's won 267 votes already. It says that Vice President Kamala Harris has earned 224. NBC News not yet officially calling that race, as some states still have not finished their count.
And Trump made an appearance last night in his Mar-a-Lago resort, claiming victory and thanking supporters.
Most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like probably like no other. This was something special.
Vice President Kamala Harris did not make an appearance last night, but it is anticipated that she's going to speak later on today.
We also know that Republicans have won control of the U.S. Senate. A look at the balance here: 51 Republicans and 41 Democrats projected so far to win their races, and that could put a Texan in a new position of power as well. Senator John Cornyn hoping to succeed Mitch McConnell as the Senate Majority Leader. It is one of the most powerful positions on Capitol Hill. South Dakota Republican John Thune also running for that, and we spoke with Cornyn when he voted and asked him about that race for Majority Leader.
And I feel like I'm ready to assume those responsibilities. But in the end, it's not about me and it's not about the other candidate. It's about what our country needs. And our country needs to make some tough choices. And we're the ones that make those on behalf of our constituents. So I'm looking forward to it, but I understand the responsibility.
Cornyn said Republicans will meet to vote for their nominee for leader on November 13th, a little more than a week away. And upon news breaking of that win, Cornyn said in a statement, "I look forward to working with President Trump and our new conservative majority to make America great again by making the Senate work again."
First warning weather with meteorologist Kristen Curry.
Hey, as far as what we've got going on weather-wise, it's a nice quiet start, but boy, is it chilly out there. Clear skies on our Allied Medical Emergency Room camera in Dripping Springs, 30s and 40s across most of Central Texas, 49 degrees in Austin. We haven't been this chilly since spring. We've got 30s and 40s out in the Hill Country, 40s out in our eastern communities. So yeah, absolutely grab that jacket. I think you'll notice the chill. Temperatures down 10 to about 25 degrees compared to yesterday. So I would say that's a notable drop, but the nice thing is with dry air and sunshine, we rebound back into the upper 70s today. Your forecast high is 79. With sunshine to help get us there and the east winds, not a problem. Those are going to be less than 5 miles per hour for most of the day. Coming up, it's a wet finish to the week, both tomorrow and Friday. Not only storms, but the risk of some severe storms. I'm going to time that out for you. Plus, we'll get a look at your weekend forecast. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Sally?
Thank you, Kristen. Amongst other important election results, let's get back to that. You are likely waiting to see who is going to win the mayoral vote for the city of Austin, and so are we. But right now, it is looking like Kirk Watson is taking the lead with just about 50% of the vote. He needs to get a little above that threshold. He leads by 104,000 votes right now. And right now, we're waiting on those mailed-in ballots being counted. If there is a runoff, the contender for the spot would likely be Carmen Yanes Pulido. Austin voters had 5 council members to vote on.
Yeah, there was incumbent Vanessa Fuentes taking District 2, and that represents Del Valle and the area around the airport. Meantime, incumbent Mackenzie Kelly lost to Krista Lane. Lane will now represent District 6, which is Northwest Austin.
My primary motivation in running is to bring more effective city services to District 6, whether that means the lights staying on, maybe some repairs to the water mains, that sort of thing. 911 response times have been a consistent issue. District 6 is challenging because we have 60% Williamson County, 40% Travis County.
Mark Duchin wins District 10 with 51% of the vote. This is West Austin. And incumbent Chito Vela is going to be keeping his job in District 4. That's Central Austin. He says he looks forward to continuing to work for voters.
Now that we've settled a lot of the major issues, I really want to dig deep into the details of the district, talk about speeding and transportation issues. Those kinds of safety issues are very important to a lot of folks in the district.
Meantime, Mike Siegel and Gary Bledsoe are going to a runoff for District 7. You need at least 50% of the vote to win a race outright in Austin. So that race will be on December 14th.
Travis County voters were asked to vote on Proposition A, and that would create a new affordable child care, but it does come with that 2.5% property tax rate. The increase in Travis County, well, it was voted and it was a yes for this proposition, with 59% of voters for it, 41% against it.
And in Travis County, the Emergency Services District 2 proposition vote, 68% are against getting rid of a sales tax there. That means keeping money that helps pay for the Pflugerville Fire Department. 32% are for that measure that would have gotten rid of the tax.
A proposed $400 million bond to improve transportation infrastructure as well as road improvements. It's one of the fastest developing counties in Central Texas with its closeness to the I-35 corridor. And that measure passed. 56% of voters for it, 44% against it. Good morning. We have some breaking news coming into the KXAN newsroom. NBC News and the Associated Press are saying Trump is now your presumptive president. He is what you were called the elected president. He won by the popular vote, and then he won some swing states overnight as well.
Yeah, there was just 3 more votes that he needed to pick up in the Electoral College. And right now, with an additional win in Wisconsin, the former president is now expected to become the 47th president of the United States. Right now, he has 277 electoral votes, 7 more than that 270 needed, with Kamala Harris still sitting at 224. We are expecting NBC News at some point to break into coverage, as they'll have more on this. But in the meantime, we also know that Republicans are going to have control of the Senate, but the balance of power in the House of Representatives, that is still up in the air. So right now, the House of Republicans sits at 197 seats for the GOP with 179 for the Democrats. Full control requires 218 seats.
Good morning. Your time check right now is early in the morning, 4:44. And at this hour, we can tell you now that NBC News and the AP are now calling it, saying Donald Trump is now the next president of the United States. We'll have more on that coming up in just the next few minutes. But with that news, stock futures rising sharply overnight and trading. Dow futures show a 2% raise. S&P 500 gaining 1.9. NASDAQ up 1.8.
I'm Sam Stark, reporting in Hays County. We've called the race for the Hays County Sheriff's Office, and voters have chosen Anthony Hippolito for the role. He brings over 26 years of law enforcement experience to the office. He said his win is the result of 3 years of hard work.
We are better together, so it was important for me to reach out to all segments of the community, to allow them to get to know me. And I think we've done that over the last 3 years.
Hays County voters have also chosen to approve Proposition A. That's the nearly $450 million transportation bond package. The bond package includes 30 road projects across the county. County officials decided to call the election because it said the bond package would help them keep pace with the county's explosive growth and increase the safety of roads across the region. In Hays County, Sam Stark, KXAN News.
Thank you, Sam. And we are also following the race for Williamson County Sheriff. Barrett Tryon is there as Matthew Lindeman clinches the win.
A huge night for Republicans here in Williamson County. Matthew Lindeman voted as the next sheriff. He is replacing Sheriff Mike Gleason, who's been in that role for the past 4 years. Now, you might remember, it's of note that Gleason was actually the first Democrat to be elected sheriff in Williamson County in more than 30 years. He defeated then Sheriff Robert Chody. So Lindeman talking to us tonight about what he plans to do. He did joke that he has a lot of campaign signs to take down, but really at the forefront of his campaign, it has always been public safety.
It was awesome. So many candidates won tonight that were here and representing Williamson County. We're all going to work together to keep our county safe. I know that will happen.
Back here at the Republican Watch Party for Williamson County, really energetic last night when Lindeman was announced as the new sheriff. For now, that is the latest from Williamson County. Barrett Tryon, KXAN News.
All right, let's talk about the propositions in Lockhart and Bastrop. The proposition looking at decriminalizing marijuana. Sarah Alshay follows the changes now.
Voters in both Bastrop and Lockhart passed propositions decriminalizing marijuana possession of 4 ounces or less. This deprioritizes arrests and prosecution of low-level marijuana possession offenses in those cities. Bastrop and Lockhart aren't the first Central Texas cities to ease their marijuana laws. Austin and San Marcos approved similar measures in the past. The social justice organization Mano Amiga collected hundreds of signatures from city voters in order to get this on the ballot.
Something that's so valuable about this campaign is that it really shows people the tools that we have to have a say in how policies operate. And so my hope for this campaign is that it is an impetus for people to keep being involved and having a say in their communities.
Other results from Caldwell County, voters re-elected Mike Lane as the sheriff. Also, Caldwell County voters approved a $150 million transportation bond as well.
Help us accomplish some growth management that desperately needs to happen.
That would fund 22 projects focused on things like road construction and low water crossing replacements. Reporting in Caldwell County, Sarah Alshah, KXAN News.
First warning weather with meteorologist Kristen Curry.
Okay, let's get to your forecast. We start with a live look outside our Barons Creek Vineyards camera there in Fredericksburg, showing mainly quiet conditions. Really, the highlight this morning is it's chilly, 49 degrees in Austin, even colder temperatures out towards the west with a mix of 30s and 40s. Calm winds and humidity at 93%. Now, looking ahead, even though we're much cooler this morning, we will have no problems getting back to the 70s. Yesterday, we hit 73. Today, I'm going 79. We're going to see more sunshine, and that sunshine coming sooner with no possibility of rain today. East winds light at 5 miles per hour. Here's a look at those forecast highs across Central Texas today. I'm expecting upper 70s to low 80s no matter where you look. Still running a little bit warmer than normal. 75 is where we should be for this time in November, but clearly running about 4 to 5 degrees warmer than that. Sunshine from start to finish today, but things change quickly once we get into tonight and wake up tomorrow morning. Warm front moves through. We're going to be talking about more humid conditions with some spotty to scattered light rain as we start tomorrow, and that continues at times through the day. It will not rain every hour tomorrow, but the rain chance will be there with the potential of some strong to severe storms in the mix. That not only continues Thursday, but we're going to do it again on Friday. Friday's a little different only because we've got a trigger now coming in the form of a cold front that's going to arrive later in the day. Afternoon through the evening, you can see that almost identical to what we had earlier this week, but a linear structure to those storms and showers right along that cold front. That's going to impact us in the afternoon and evening primarily. Once that front passes, we actually get dry skies behind it for the weekend. So here's what it looks like big picture. Dry skies today. That storm system that's going to drag that cold front through the state is bringing significant snow to portions of the Rockies. So although it's a bummer that we're seeing that severe risk here at home, this is largely a good thing for the desert Southwest and the South Plains. So cold front starts to move through the state Friday. It will clear us by Saturday with drier skies behind it. The weekend's actually shaping up to be pretty nice. That being said, we just have to watch the severe risk for tomorrow. 1 out of 5 for most of our counties. Wind and hail, the primary concerns. We're going to do it again on Friday before things quiet down heading into the weekend. Now, that being said, your rainfall forecast, we could see an additional 1/4 inch to 1.5 inches out of any well-developed thunderstorm. Considering those rain chances are at 70%, we expect the majority of us to get wet. I'm hoping on the higher end of that rainfall total scale. But again, there's going to be some a little fewer than that, some a little bit higher than that too. 7-day forecast. I've got us to 79 today, tomorrow, and same kind of temperatures as far as the afternoon highs go. Friday, 70% chance of storms and showers Thursday and Friday. Then you're noticing into the weekend, this rain chances start to drop. Mix of sun and clouds. Highs stay in the upper 70s to low 80s with those 50s and 60s overnight. Okay, we'll send things back over to Tom.
Thank you, Kristen. We want to go to the Travis County District Attorney race. And incumbent District Attorney Jose Garza, a Democrat, defeating his Republican challenger 68 to 32%.
Garza was talking to Avery Travis with more on his win.
Crime, and particularly how to tackle violent crime, has been a focus at really all levels of this election, from the presidential race down to our local elected officials, but maybe none more so than the Travis County District Attorney's race. And that is because as the top prosecutor in the county, they are tasked with prosecuting felony crime. Travis County District Attorney says the numbers that he's seeing and the support that he saw is really reaffirming his efforts to not only focus on victims of violent crime, but also on reforming the criminal justice system with programs that target diversion and that target prevention and the root causes of crime. Over the last 4 years, he's faced some public criticism of folks who feel he wasn't tough enough on crime. Some of that came from the local level, and we heard that from his opponent, Daniel Betts, who was running on the Republican side of this race, but some of that came from the statewide level. We saw a law passed by the Texas legislature that allows for the removal of elected district attorneys for office misconduct. We asked DA Garza about some of that criticism. Take a listen.
I care most about this community, and this community has said decisively over and over again that this is the path that they want us to take, that they want us to address the root causes of crime in our community. They want us to hold people accountable who commit acts of violence, and they want us to build a criminal justice system that's fair for everyone.
DA Garza reiterated something tonight that we've heard a lot from him over his last 4 years in office, and that's that he believes these reforms and changes will make Travis County safer for everyone. Reporting in downtown, Avery Travis, KXAN News.
Thank you, Avery. To Bastrop now, 59% voting to amend pay for the mayor and council members. It'll be $400 a month for mayor, $250 per month for council. The current mayor members are ineligible for additional funds until re-elected. Bee Cave voting 72% for changes to its mayor and council pay as well, almost 2,700 votes for it. The race for the state spot in the Senate now belongs to incumbent Ted Cruz, who had a tight race against Colin Allred.
Coming up in just a bit, we're going to hear from Cruz. First, though, we want to check in with KXAN's Josh Hinkle, who heard from Allred in Dallas.
This was the mood last night just after the announcement came that Colin Allred would not be the next U.S. Senator from Texas. Certainly a lot of sad people here today as they were hoping for a different outcome, but a lot of excitement still on what the Democratic Party believes it was able to accomplish with this candidate. A lot of momentum that they've been trying to work to build toward in the last few election cycles that Colin Allred actually talked about when he took the stage.
And if we don't win, then we dust ourselves off and we come back the next time. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen in any of the other races around the country, but I know this. It's going to require patriots like all of you and people all across our state and our country to stay engaged.
You heard it there, and what Colin Allred will actually do next is still kind of up in the air. A lot of people have been wondering whether he will run for governor in 2026. Tonight we heard from Wendy Davis, and we also saw Lupe Valdez in the crowd. Both of those women were two of the last three gubernatorial candidates for the Democratic Party here in Texas. So that was kind of interesting to see that juxtaposition, and I think we're just going to wait and see what Colin Allred decides to do, since he will not be returning to Washington, and whether he wants to continue his political career here in Texas. Certainly Democrats will also be looking toward 2031, a little bit further down the road, because that's when redistricting will be happening at the Texas State Capitol. And when we talk about redistricting, that means that they're going to be redrawing the lines based on population shifts. And with the way that the demographics have changed here in Texas, Democrats believe that could be very, very favorable for them. Back to you.
Josh Hinkle for us. Thank you. Still ahead, former President Donald Trump elected the 47th president of the United States. We will hear from Trump as that breaking news is official this morning. You're listening to the KXAN Today podcast. Thanks for joining us. Hope you'll join us on air for that. You can find all our election coverage on our website, KXAN.com.